Welcome to Cocktail Hour. I'm Andi.
And I'm the Rev.
Welcome to another episode of Cocktail Hour. Hello.
Yay. Hello.
This is our big gigantor Halloween show. Yay! And with us to celebrate is Andi Marquette.
Yay. Happy Halloween. Happy sewing. Happy Day of the Dead.
So, Rev and I decided to try two different drinks. Well, actually, I'm trying something new. Rev's having an old standby. And Andi Marquette is having no alcoholic beverage because...
No alcohol. I'm this weird without it.
She does not want to ruin her makeup for her Halloween party she's going to after she does our show.
This is... Girl, you know how it is with makeup.
Yeah, I remember those days. Mm-hmm. So what are you dressed up as, a zombie?
Well, I have a history of doing some nutty shit at Halloween. This isn't as nutty as I usually get, but I have a rep. And a few Halloweens back, I went as a dead Marie Antoinette.
All right.
That was great.
Full
Full wig, full gown, big slash across my neck. It was awesome.
What big slash? You're supposed to have your head in a basket. You're carrying it around. What the hell, like a headless horseman?
Hello, it would have been hard to talk. And then the year before that, I was Carmen Miranda.
Nice. Fruit basket?
Oh, God, I had the fruit on the head, the whole 9 yards.
Sweet.
I had it going on. And this year, it's a little bit more simple. I'm going as, I did the makeup for Day of the Dead on my face.
So you are a zombie?
No, skeleton.
A skeleton?
I'm a calavera.
Oh. I'm thinking Day of the Dead. I'm thinking dead zombies. You're thinking...
No, Día De Los Muertos. There.
Yes.
How's that?
I got you. Wow. Are you going to snap a picture and show us?
Probably not.
Aw, don't be like that. Come on now.
I may post it on Facebook. I may. So.
Well, you should post it with us. What the hell?
So, we'll see.
All right.
I'm an international woman of mystery after all.
Well, that is true.
So.
Yep, that is true. So, I'm having a Neutered Black Cat, which was a real fuck-up of a drink. I thought I had cherry liqueur. I had cherry brandy. I made the drink anyway, and it is disgusting. Rev has a cold, so...
This is hilarious to me.
It's gross. It's really gross. Oh, God. And
so explain what's in it, Sophie.
Okay. Well, it has 1 ounce of vodka. It's supposed to have 1 ounce of cherry liqueur, and then you put the rest of we fill the rest of the glass with equal parts cola and cranberry juice. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm having this disgusting drink with cherry brandy, and it's just But I took a picture of it, so when we do our...
Awesome. What's the color? What is the color, actually?
It looks like cola.
Okay, so nothing too scary.
No, not really, no. And Rev is having a Bloody Mary, I do believe.
Yes.
Which is apropos. Thank you, Rev. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. It just came to me. Actually, I was reading your story from the Skulls and Crossbones anthology, and it just kind of came to me.
Like a ton of seawater.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yes, with some kelp. Yes.
With some kelp. What was that, like the little munchies at the bar? What was it?
Well, that's all they had on the beach. There's none of the silicone crap. They had to use what they could find.
Yeah.
That's one of your fave stories, isn't it, Andi?
What?
The Devil's Bargain.
Oh, I love Devil's Bargain. It's the bomb.
Yay!
It's the bomb. And I got to tell people that are listening, and I've said this before when you and I did a bar rag, if you have a few bucks and you really want a good story, just if for no other reason, buy Skull and Crossbones for Devil's Bargain.
Yeah, I want to talk about some of the stories to make it, to make this a legitimate cocktail hour show, and then we can go off into movies and any other Halloween-y type stuff that we want to talk about. But I actually did read several of the stories in the book, and it was very different from what I had expected. I talked to Andi about that earlier this morning. Sorry, listeners, I have a cold. So
drink some more alcohol. That'll flip.
Yeah, but this is I made this drink. It's very strong, so I have to sip it carefully.
You're a clunk.
You'll be burning that crap right out of you, sister.
I hope so, but not until after the show's over. I try not to embarrass myself too much. So far, we've only had, I think, one show where I was totally blasted.
It was fun,
by the time
too.
we're done with it. It was the most frustrating show that we've done, but I was too blasted to really care. So, we do have an announcement to make.
Yes, we do.
Actually,
we do.
Yes, our last show with Q Kelly, we talked about Strange Bedfellows, and we had a book giveaway, and we do have a winner. We picked the winner earlier.
Woo!
So
who's the winner? Wait. Okay. Exactly.
The winner is Adrian Blagg. So
Yay!
congratulations, Adrian. We will get Adrian in touch with Kelly, and they can figure out what book Adrian's going to get and in what format. So congratulations.
Yay! And just as a side note, what does the Q stand for? Cute, quiet, what? No, cute is a C. Okay,
Quirky.
No more drinking for me.
Quirky,
quiet,
queer,
Queer, but that's sort of, I don't know, obvious. I don't know. We should ask her.
Chaotic.
I like that.
maybe.
Ha! How many times can you use that in a fucking sentence? You know what I'm saying?
Not while you're drinking.
Oh, God. Okay.
For the influence, ma'am. We're gonna have to bring you in for that.
Hey, I'm sitting on my flat ass. Trust me, I ain't going anywhere. Okay, so let's talk about Skull and Crossbones.
Excellent.
Okay.
So Andi, you were one of the editors on this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
You want to talk about the project?
It was actually, I did blog it over at Women in Words. RG and I had a big long conversation about it, and I thought, it'd be kind of fun if people actually knew how this came about. It was sort of a kind of a random turn of events, because RG has spent a long time in the publishing industry as well, and we wanted to do a project together because we work really well together. Then we thought, well, let's do an anthology of something, and we kind of bounced ideas around, and we're like, oh God, everybody's doing vampires, right? Not another lesbian vampire anthology. Snooze.
Oh, come on now. They can be tasty and fabulous.
This is true, but we didn't feel like we were the ones to do it. There are a lot of women who are known for that, who are already doing really great work. And I was like, let's do something totally different. So we were trying to figure it out. And we didn't want to do an erotica anthology because, again, there are other authors and editors who are well known for that. And we figured we didn't want to compete with them. Oh my God, we get our asses whooped. So I was like, let's do something that nobody's done yet. At least not really. Yeah. So we were thinking, and one day where was I? I was just like doing something, and I get this phone call, and I'm like, oh, it's RG. Hey, what's up? Pirates! She says to me. I'm like, yeah, pirates. And no, Andi, we should do pirates. We should write an anthology of pirates. And I was like, oh my God, what a great concept. Okay, let's do it. So then we had to figure out who to pitch it to and how we wanted to work it and what kind of contract and that sort of thing. And Bedazzled Ink is really good with, I'm on their list as well as one of their other authors. So I pitched the project and they really liked the idea. So we decided, let's do it. And we put out a call. God, I think we put it out in January, and we had a 6-month submissions window. So you had 6 months to send us a story. And then we had to, of course, schedule the publication. And it's like herding cats, basically, when you edit an anthology. You have so many different authors, and you're trying to coordinate And we have authors all over the world. I mean, we've got authors from Canada, Australia, England, and all over the country. So, different time zones, trying to coordinate. Thank God for email.
Yeah,
so it was just this kind of concept that sort of came out of the blue, and it was because RG was browsing at a Barnes & Noble at the time, and she just happened to be browsing in the pirate area, and she just thought, oh my God, pirates, how much fun would that be to do? And get people thinking in terms of different sort of pirates in piracy, because everybody thinks that, hang them from the yardarm. And we thought, let's go with let's really expand it. Pirates from all eras, made-up pirates, space bandit pirates. Let's just throw it wide open and see what happens. Mm-hmm. And we ended up with a really interesting mix of stories.
Mm-hmm.
I really, I was caught off guard because I didn't know what to expect. So I guess I just kind of assumed that they would be your standard, lesbian. Well, your standard lesbian pirates. And then the first story, the first, she is a vicious bitch.
Right?
Garda, but all of them they were really good. Valkyrie, I really enjoyed that one. And I only got through, almost done with 50 Octaves Deep, which I thought was a really interesting concept to have the sirens,
Mm-hmm.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I did, the Furies, I really like that one.
That was dark. That's why I wanted that one. And Raging was really cool to work with. Go ahead.
Oh, I really enjoyed it up until the very last sentence. I was like, oh,
right? I love that. Don't want to say twist, but
it was very cutting.
That ain't right. Y'all ain't right.
Spoilers there.
Yeah, but there are a lot of different types of stories in here, and for the most part, I really found them really well written, and they for short stories, they did a great job of grabbing me right away.
Yes,
and keeping me engaged throughout the entire thing. But so it was. When I first started reading it, I was taken aback a little bit because it was not what I expected at all. But I was not disappointed in the slightest.
Well, that's good to know because there are a few, maybe 3 or 4 of these are probably could be construed as lesbian pirate stories.
Yes, they're not all that way. That's right.
Right, and the rest are women pirates.
Right.
And there are male authors in here that I just had a great time working with them. And we've got, and in the intro, in the note from the editors, when RG and I were trying to figure out how to set this up, okay, we've got a lot of different themes here and a lot of different approaches and eras. So we sort of organized it kind of chronologically and thematically, but also sort of like a music mix. And I explained that in the beginning because I'm a DJ and, I wanted to maintain certain moods and not jar a reader who read one of the funny stories and then throw something really dark. I wanted sort of a build-up and then kind of go into the lighter stuff and then come back down into the darker stuff and then end on lighter notes. And that's what we ended up doing.
The first story in there, she is just, I think for me that really set the tone for what to expect as far as the women in stories.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to hear.
Mm-hmm. I got to say, though, I think I read one or two of the more recent pirate stories. And, because I liked how it went from, it was all done in a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
So when it got to the more current pirates,
mm-hmm.
I read 1 or 2 stories. I was like, no, and I closed it. Not that it was anything bad. It was just I don't think I was in the mood for it because when I think of pirates, I don't think of Somali pirates. You know what I mean? I think of Arr, me hearty. Those are the kind of pirates. When I'm reading pirate stories, that's the kind of general, historical type pirates I'm looking for. So I actually stopped reading it.
Mm-hmm. We actually ended up with too bad because we have a steampunk pirate story in there that was really quite good. It was one of my favorites. The Captain Hook and Mr. Shrike was my faves in the collection.
Well, you never know about it. No, I might go back and read it.
And Elaine Burns has a great one in there, A Perfect Life, a space bandit pirate story. Oh, wow. That one, wow. And then we ended up on kind of a lighter pirate note because we didn't want people to leave feeling like, God, I need to kill myself because those stories were horrible, and them to feel like, oh, that was really good. That was a good journey. We went from kind of heavy duty into more lighter stuff, then back into darker stuff, and then we ended on kind of an up note with like some really clever stories. So that's what we were kind of looking at, to try to keep people from, I need to slash my wrists now.
Oh, Lordy. Don't want none of that.
Or slash someone else's wrist.
Well, yeah.
Exactly. And so that was what was really appealing about the collection. And we got something like 80 submissions.
Wow.
And had to cull it substantially. And we tried to get things that were, sort of typical pirates, yard, but approached it differently. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of stuff that was pretty typical piracy. And so I was like, well, okay, yeah, is it really well written, though? And so there was a lot of factors that came together, and we tried to pick stories that were slightly different than the usual run-of-the-mill piracy.
Well, I really enjoyed it, so thanks to you and RG for putting this together, because, I did. I liked it a lot, and so thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
You betcha. Mm-hmm. The cover art was a whole other issue. I found that artist. He actually lives in Turkey. I tracked him down, and I said, I really want this image for our book, and he gave us a really great deal on it.
Nice.
Very nice. That is a great image.
Yep, it is.
Don't you think? It just really captures the essence of it. And she's not really a pirate, but she sort of is, It's like,
I think it's awesome.
So, we were very, very pleased with the image and how the cover came out.
Excellent.
I'm kind of a cover whore, Like, books draw me also with the covers.
Well, you have to have a
good piece of art.
A synopsis that grabs you, but cover art is the one that draws you in first.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're going to see.
Right.
Whether you're shopping ebook or print.
Right.
It's what you're going to see.
Yeah, there have been many times when I've passed up a book because of the cover, and then later heard from other people that it was great, but I just could not. It was like,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally hear you, girl.
Yep.
Hear you. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, yes, we do judge a book by its cover, girl.
Yes, we do. So I want to do one more thing on the book, and then we can let it go. All right? Hold on. I need to pull my copy up again. No. And Andy, I may be catching my Andy. Not that I don't care for you, Andy. But,
Andy D, right? Yeah.
Andy, darling, we're gonna. You may be pissed off at me for this, but we're gonna play Who Would You Date?
Oh. Who would you date in an anthology? You are just out the border. You're off the chain, sister.
I know. Okay, so, but we're still gonna play.
All right.
Gosh, I haven't thought. I didn't think about this beforehand. Gosh, I'm gonna pick.
It's work though.
Oh, it's just who would you? It's pretty straightforward. Who would you date?
Yeah, but we're actually wanting to retitle it "Who Would You Fuck?"
Yeah.
So that would take care of the one night stand people. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, because I wouldn't necessarily want to date them.
Both ways. If you're one of those people, then it's who would you fuck. If you're the other kind of person, then it's who would you date. How's that?
There you go.
Yeah, but it's our show. We're going to go with who would you fuck.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, because Rev's in a relationship and I don't want one. So fucking works really well.
Oh, yeah. It's out then. Right on.
There you go.
And my wife's okay with this, so it's all right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she can play, right?
No.
Greedy bitch.
Sorry, let me think about that. No.
You can read the same books and then discuss. Who would you date, honey?
She would date me.
Man, I see how she is. All right, well, since you brought it up, who the hell are you going to fuck? That's what I want to know.
Shit.
We're talking Skulls and Crossbones, right?
What? Yeah.
Well, I made it to Road Pirate. Victoria Oldham's kind of that's the one almost crosses the line into sexy smut erotica. I would definitely date that pirate.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. I'll read that one. I haven't gotten past 50 octaves deep.
All right, so you want to stay with 50 octaves deep and less. All right.
No. You can pick whichever one you want.
Okay.
Well, I think she already did.
Yeah. All right then. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's today. It might be different tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. It's a smorgasbord out there when you're single.
Yeah.
Hello.
There's a lot of characters.
Yeah, there is a lot of characters. And because I only reread Andy's story for this podcast, although I think I read this, oh lordy, probably 2 months ago. This book.
Yeah, you read. I remember talking about it.
It's been a while. Yeah, so I have to. I can only play this game based on the story I read today.
Oh. All right.
So which one are you going to pick?
Sarah?
Oh, see, I would pick Neffy.
They're both pretty hot, though, in their own ways, I think.
Did we, I don't even remember you describing what either one of those characters looked like.
That's the point.
So you could make them whoever you wanted them to be.
Exactly. They can look like whatever you want them to look like.
Yeah, I got this sense that Sarah was the Gabby figure. I went with that one.
Okay. And I kind of got the tall, dark.
Trope, you guys, just so you know.
What?
I don't really write that trope, you guys, just so you know.
Yeah, I figured that. But hey, it's what I want.
Hey, go for it.
Yeah, Neffy for me kind of had kind of wavy, dark brown, blackish hair with kind of dark features and brown eyes and
swarthy,
hot,
swarthy. Yeah.
Okay, so I pick her.
All right, so I picked Sarah. You picked Neffy.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Although I was tempted to pick Lagarda.
She was pretty hot too, in a way.
Just because she was so fucking badass, but I'd be afraid to doze off.
That's awesome.
Totally.
I'm loving it. Awesome.
All right. Well, if listeners, if you enjoy female pirates of any type, really, go pick this up because it's not. I mean, it's not really lesfic. It's good women pirate stories. Yeah, really good. The ones that I read were really good.
Yeah.
We wanted strong women characters, and whether they were assholes or did good, or sort of those people that you're not really sure about, they kind of do what they need to do, whatever the situation calls for. Yeah. We have a good mix, though. We have people who are genuinely, women pirates who are genuinely mean and scary in there, and then we have some that are not, So I just thought it was a nice mix.
Even some of the ones that are kind of scary still have, the authors let a lot of the insecurities and vulnerabilities come through, not just because they're women, but, because the author let that come through. So, yeah, very good.
Yeah. It was definitely worth the money, and I suggest our listeners go buy the book.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And,
All right.
Yep. And, okay, so now we're going to branch off from our normal show standards. Do we have standards? No.
Wait, we don't even have standards on the show.
No. But more appropriately, this show's format. We're actually changing that up a little bit because it's our Halloween show. Yay.
Oh,
and so I had to put Andi M on the I have to ask this question. I just have to. When are you going to write a zombie novel? When?
Let's see. It probably with all seriousness, I can't really do that until I finish New Mexico 4 and the Space Opera 3 because I'm on contract and I have to get those done.
Well, hurry the hell up, sister.
So, but it's kicking around in the back there.
All right, good. Because your ability to tell a supernatural tale is fabulous.
Different. I'm not really a horror novel. I recently interviewed on Women in Words one of my fave horror authors at the moment, and I'll come clean here. She's also a pretty good writing buddy of mine, but her name is Gina Rinaldi, and she writes some really freaking crazy stuff. But what's neat about her horror is that she has this really sly wit underneath it all. So it's like horrific, but yet you're kind of laughing. So twisted. It is so twisted.
Oh.
And her characters are, I don't know where she finds these people, but wow. So I discovered her a while back, and so, we talk about writing and stuff and shoot each other's ideas, and it's just, she's just, the way her brain works is just like, oh my God, that is sick. I love it. Kind of thing.
I might have to check some of that out. Is it available? Her stuff
yeah,
available?
she's she has all kinds of stuff all over Kindle. She's got, I don't know, 15 or 16 out now. And they're short. They're short reads. They're shorter novels, like around 60, 70,000 words, most of them. Mm-hmm. And they sell for about anywhere from 99 cents. She really pimps them on Kindle to, she sells like collector's editions, hardcovers too. She's with a variety of different small horror presses.
And what's her name?
She has Ranalli, Ranalli.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's a genre actually that, and one of the questions I asked her was, have you had a hard time working in this field because you're a woman? A, horror doesn't normally lend itself to women writers, sort of like science fiction. And B, have you had a difficult time when you write LGBT characters? Because she does on occasion throw in LGBT characters. And she says that no, most of the trouble she usually gets is that male readers of horror generally will not read something written by a woman in that genre. She said, but having said that, some of my biggest supporters are actually my fellow male writers. So, and some of my male readers, she said. So it's a weird juxtaposition.
Well, I don't know. There's been a few very good horror authors, female horror authors. But yeah, they're not predominant. There's no doubt. It's more more of a male dominated area.
I'm not known to write horror like that. I am not the kind of person who writes like Stephen King horror or that sort of thing. So I don't know how successful I will be.
Well, I think your short story, I think it was really, it told a really good tale. It was very short. It was super short, but you were able to pack a punch in it. So I think you're selling yourself short, quite frankly. I mean, you might not be comfortable writing it, but you do a very good job writing it. So I think you need to explore.
It depends on what the muses want,
Yeah, give me that create. Just get out of your comfort zone, goddammit, and write. That's what I'm saying.
Right. I did publish a short story. The rights just recently reverted back to me. Woohoo! It's all mine now. That one was about werewolves. So.
Oh well, yay!
So I have, and that was kind of the sort of a quirky, funny character in that one. And that was a lot of fun to write. Is it horror? I don't know. Is it paranormal? Yes, because it's dealing with werewolves.
Well, I want to read it, just so you know.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Well, all right then.
Okay. All right. So our breakaway format, we're going to talk about horror films a little bit.
Okay.
Rev.
Yes.
How about you giving us a rundown of your top scariest horror films of all time?
That you've actually seen, right?
Yeah, that you've actually seen. Silly ass.
God, it's been so long since I've gotten into movies that I have to think for a minute. And I know, okay, so The Exorcist is...
Oh, it's the 30th anniversary of that book, and he's re-releasing it, the author.
I was just telling Andy before we got on the phone with you that when I was a little kid, like, I don't know, like maybe 9 or 10 years old when I read that book. And it really fucked me up. I'm just going to say that.
Right?
Yeah. And then when I saw the movie, it equally fucked me up. But yeah, that was a great movie. People make fun of me when I say that the Blair Witch Project scared the piss out of me, but I don't give a shit.
That was scary.
I do a lot of camping, or I did a lot of camping when that was out, and yeah, by the time
I got it.
Yeah, when the first time we watched that, it was my wife and I were laying in bed in the dark watching it, and by the time the movie was over, I was completely behind her. Cowering. Let's see. The Thing, which I'm excited to see the remake.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't suck.
I do too, yeah. Gosh, nothing else is really coming to mind. Night of the Living Dead, the original.
The black and white version?
1992 remake was really good.
I did. The remake was good, but the original it will still kind of creep me out.
Absolutely. What was interesting, if you guys saw I think it was 92 or 94, the remake, was that the main character actually became a strong woman.
Yeah.
She was a strong woman character. That was interesting.
Was she the one with the red hair, short red hair?
Yeah.
That was a really good remake.
Don't you think? And the ending was really well done too. I just thought, wow, that was a good remake. So I was down with that as a remake.
Yeah.
Most remakes, especially of like horror movies, I don't care for them as much, because I've got that connection to the original. But yeah, I did like that one. I don't know. Go ahead.
What about you, Mandy?
Well, I agree. I thought the Blair Witch Project was freaking creepy scary, but only because, like Rev said, I also do a lot of camping, and I had a really freaky Blair Witch Project situation happen on one of those camping trips, and so that movie just really freaked me out. Even bad camera, jiggling up and down crap and everything. It was just like, it just really shows you how your fear can compound itself based on, the people you're with. Then you kind of feed off each other, and then you end up in really weird situations, and that probably wouldn't be weird except that you're feeding off each other, and then it just goes downhill from there. So it was like, been there, done that, scared me.
Yeah, I get that.
Great. I thought the original Alien was really freaking scary.
The 79?
Yeah, and the second, Aliens, I thought that was also really well done and scary, and then after that just kind of
Yeah, really went downhill after that.
That was such a great story though, Aliens. I mean, just the constant action and the characters. I thought it was a really well done script.
Yeah, it was like typical James Cameron.
Right, it was excellent, and so after that it was what? So it got really crazy after that. Did you guys ever see with Vin Diesel, Pitch Black?
That's a great movie.
Scary. Liked it a lot. I really enjoyed that movie.
Yep, it was good. It wasn't quite scary enough for me though, but it was good.
Well, it was sort of tense because you have a limited number of characters. This is a really good formula, y'all. If you do films and you do books, small number of characters, enclosed space. Mm-hmm. Okay, and in this case, the darkness was a metaphor for enclosed space because obviously they're on a big freaking planet.
Right.
So. But the fact that you've got a threat moving in and you have to kind of condense your space and you have to be with a limited number of characters, ultimate awesome horror situation and stress out situation. So that was another one of my faves, actually. That everybody looks at me when I say that. What the hell movie is that? I know Vin Diesel, but what movie is that? And it was like, that was, I think, his first real breakthrough was that movie.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. The Exorcist, honestly, you guys, I have not seen the whole thing.
Really?
I made it through about halfway, and it just creeped me out too much.
Did you get to the scene where she screws the crucifix and then jams her mom's face in her crotch?
Oh, that was nasty. They did a director's cut. Was that a couple years ago? And there's the one scene that just iced it for me as the creepiest dang thing I've ever seen was when she goes backwards
down the stairs.
Yes, right?
When she went backwards on the stairs?
Dude, was she on the stairs or where was she?
She was coming down the stairs like backwards on her hands and feet, and her head was all...
Oh, that's right. I do remember that now.
Yeah.
That was creepy. That was fucking gross.
Turn it off. It was just so creepy, and obviously it was well done, right? Because we all got really creeped out by it.
Yeah, that was great. It was just like you shuddered. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like, because you could just imagine seeing that, and what do you even do with that? I don't know. Like, oh my God, maybe there really is a demon.
Yeah, you start to wonder whether or not, possession is real.
Right. So that just kind of weirds me out.
That's an excellent movie. Now I'm sitting here running the scenes through my head. That is a great movie.
It really was. The way the tension built.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just, oh my God. I liked Sixth Sense a lot because of the plot twists. That was, I thought, pretty scary. And to this day, my sister and I we'll call each other up and we'll go, I see dead people.
I think the scariest part of that was with the teenager, the ghost. It was a teenager, and when he walked away, you could see the big shotgun exit wound in the back of his head.
That's what was just so fascinating about it was that, you're kind of wondering what the hell is wrong with this kid and what's going on, and then you start realizing that he really does see dead people. And then there was that sort of similar mood when Nicole Kidman was in it. The Others, I thought that was well done.
That is a great movie.
Yes, that is. I completely forgot about that one. Shame on me.
For not having any kind of actual like blood or just a purely suspenseful movie. That was very good.
I thought it was excellent. I had a good time with that movie. And again, I don't like gore fests. I don't like stuff like Saw or Friday the 13th. I don't like stuff like that.
Yeah, see, the first Saw made my list of horror films because it was very unique for what it was. And it did catch me off guard. And I did jump a few times because it was creepy.
See, my wife loves the bloodier, the crappier, the biggest B horror movies ever. And then it's not just the crappy horror movie. It's the joy she gets from scaring the piss out of me. I'm sorry, I won't do it this time.
That's awesome.
No, I don't like that stuff. I get part of my... I'm just going to ruin the show for everybody, but part of my issue with those flicks is how it's sort of a reflection on our society as a whole and how women are treated, and I just don't like to see women cut up and brutalized and stuff like that.
There was a lesbian one.
I didn't watch it because I don't want to see that. It's like every day you look in the news and look, another woman brutalized and thrown in the dumpster. I don't need a horror movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just like, that's why I just kind of tend to avoid that kind of stuff because it's like, I like the more psychological, suspenseful kind of stuff that really gives you the creeps, the heebie-jeebies, because that's what happens when you actually come into contact with somebody on the other side, is you have the heebie-jeebies and the creeps. You don't have some dude in a mask coming at you with a freaking chainsaw.
Well, you could.
Ain't scary as it is.
Those movies, the Friday the 13th and the Halloweens, those I think, really any of them along those lines, the people that get killed in those, they're not just the women, but they're the teenagers who are having sex and drinking.
You notice that?
Well, it's punishing.
There, right?
Yes, it's intentional.
Sure, you drink and you have premarital sex, so you get killed by a crazed person with an axe.
Right. Exactly.
I wanted to bring up
advocating teen sex, but I don't think you should be sought up for having teen sex if you're a teen.
I do.
That's because you have a kid that's going to grow up soon.
No, I don't even want to think about that.
Gotcha.
There's this Korean movie called The Audition. Oh, and then there was this French movie called High Tension.
Oh, High Tension's awesome, and it does have creepy fucking moments.
Doesn't
it? The Ring?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The Japanese version was that Ringu?
Ringu. Yeah.
The Japanese version was way scarier, but
I didn't watch the Japanese version, I don't think. I may have, but I do remember The Ring, and I liked how it was very, very different from anything I had seen.
It's kind of surreal. Yeah. Kind of like this weird, surreal stuff going on, and then this, you knew bad stuff was happening. I thought that was pretty well done. It was sort of like this really awesome build-up, kind of like one of the classics, The Shining.
Yeah.
So just a really nice build-up, and then all hell breaks loose. So
The Grudge had the same kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw part of that.
Yeah.
My sister likes to watch those movies, and I was at her house.
And I believe Sarah Michelle Gellar is also in The Grudge.
Yeah,
so.
she is.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But so is Bill Pullman. So
they giveth and taketh away. But then again, the
Bill Pullman, not so horrible.
well, yeah, but you don't want to look at him. You might go blind. The Ring was good too, not only because it was unique in the the whole the storyline and the photography, but it had Naomi Watts, so yummy. Just saying. And speaking of horror films, there you had mentioned The Shining earlier. I'm presuming you mean the 1980s version with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
And that movie did not. There's only two parts in that movie that scared the shit out of me. One of them was the cinematography they did with the blood coming out of the elevators and swamping the hallway and moving the furniture. I thought that was the creepiest thing I'd ever seen in cinema up to that point. And the very end, when they had that picture of the 1921 or 25 party that Jack Nicholson was at, and they had a close up and they panned away from it before the credits rolled. For some reason, I thought that was creepy as shit because the way Nicholson was looking at the camera, I'm like, oh, that's so creepy.
Well, the scene too, where you find out what he's actually been writing, was pretty messed up.
Yeah, that was pretty creepy.
That was like, oh my god, he's been down there, quote unquote, working, and that's all he's doing, and that's when you knew the guy was batshit. Right?
Yeah, you knew he's bats, but still, the book was much better. And I got to say,
that's the case, yeah.
The mini series that they did in 95, 96, whenever it came out, it was 4 or 5 nights worth of keep watching, keep tuning in. That one was very, very faithful to the book, and it was very good, except for that little kid they used in the movie. He had one of those, I don't know, I'm sure it's a medical condition, but the kid couldn't close his mouth. It's like you always saw 2 fucking gopher teeth in the front. It drove me to distraction watching that film. But aside from that, it was a really good, they had Rebecca De Mornay, and she's easy on the eyes, you know what I'm saying.
If you're going to replace Shelley Duvall, which
oh, Lordy.
Rebecca De Mornay is not a bad way to go.
Yeah, no lie, because
True.
Mm-hmm. Another of more recent scary movies. I got to tell you, the movie Wrong Turn creeped me the hell out.
I saw that. That creeped me out. My sister, that freak, she made me watch it.
She made you watch
it. And the thing was, though, that at the time I was living in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. So my boss had told me, because I had said, I'm interested in going to this town, and I don't remember what town it was. And she flat out told me, my boss said to me, there are places in this state you do not go. And I was like, whoa, okay, because I'm white, a woman, what's the deal with that? And she said, no, that you just do not go to these places because you may not be seen again. And I was like, oh, and then I saw that movie, and I was like, okay, she's right.
But talk about creep out factor. There were so many creep out factors in that movie. It was deliciously scary.
It was horrifically scary because I ended up taking a friend, right? So we went a little off the beaten path, and we drove through this part of the state. I kid you not, it was a full-blown shack, dog under the porch, holler, with people looking at you behind the curtains of their houses, and I thought of that freaking movie.
Yeah.
It's like weird.
Is this like another like Texas Chainsaw Massacre type movie?
No, it's like they go into. It's in the South, right?
Yes, somewhere. I think it's like West Virginia or some shit.
Right, and he takes a wrong turn, and he ends up with these other. It's sort of like Friday the 13th plot. A bunch of young people end up together in the wilderness, but there's these freaky ass people who live back there who've basically been interbreeding for like decades, and they're these cannibalistic, scary looking. It was just like, it was icky. It was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's got to be. It is one of the more frightening films. It really is.
Really, it's called Wrong Turn. I think TJ'd probably like that.
It's called Wrong Turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta check the Netflix.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's on Instant View or not. I own it. I actually bought it. Yeah, because I'm just like that. Every once in a while, I want to scare the shit out of myself. I put in Wrong Turn.
that movie will do it, man.
Yep. Also, Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was greasy and gave me the feel of the 70s. They did a really good job with that remake with It was really, really good, and it had some really creepy fucking moments in it.
Wait, did that one have the grandpa sucking on her finger?
I'm gonna vomit.
I don't remember any sucking on the finger. It's been a while since I've seen it.
I don't know if that made it into the remake, but in the original, when they come down, when they have the first dinner, there's like her finger gets cut or something, and you almost think that the grandpa is dead, and then they put her finger in his mouth. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was in the remake.
I think that was the creepiest scene in the entire movie.
Well, the remake had that cute little chick from that religious show. What the hell is it called? Jessica Biel. And she She did a really, really, really good job in that film. What?
What religious show was that?
Oh, it's where she was in a Full House or some stupid shit where she was in a family that had Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that one. She played Mary Camden in Seventh Heaven. But she did a really good job with that in that film. I really liked it. It was creepy and gross. So something that was in the last couple of decades that was more suspenseful than creepy, but it did have one or two creepy moments, is a movie called Below. It was more of a ghost story, really.
Oh, yeah. I know what movie that is.
Yeah, about a submarine during World War II.
Right. I didn't see it, though.
What was that?
It's pretty good.
Oh, it's excellent.
You saw Ghost Ship, right?
I love Ghost Ship. Love that movie.
I haven't seen that one.
What an opening on the dance floor. Holy shit. Me too. I was in the theater when I saw it. I'm like, I thought it was going to be a real fluffy. See, here, I'm in the theater. I'm ready to go. I'm so excited because, I'm such a sucker for ghost stories and scary films. So I grabbed some popcorn. I had my drink. I'm sitting there waiting. And then the movie starts after, 8 million trailers. And it's, as the credits are rolling, you see the credits are in pink. And I'm thinking, oh my God, what is this going to be, a B film I just paid $20 to see? Oh my God. But it surprised the shit out of you because after the credits, oh man, it got brutal.
Scary fast.
Really? Okay, yeah. See, I'm making a list.
Yep. You got to see that film, Ghost Ship. Excellent.
Let me check.
And Below was more of a psychological thriller, really. But it did have a couple of ghost scary moments. But excellent.
Can you tell me about the cave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cave wasn't bad. It had some schlocky moments toward the end. But if you like people in distress, it was a pretty good. And Piper's in there.
Yeah.
Is that was she in? Is the cave the one where both her and
Yep.
Okay, that was good. And yeah. And then was it Descent?
Yeah, that's not bad either. That's you know what? That's a really creepy one because it's got these aboriginal kind of weird creatures that have grown up and lived in this deep, deep, deep cave, and a bunch of female spelunkers or whatever the hell they're called. Decided to do a cave crawling or whatever the fuck they do, and they get attacked by these things, and it is creepy. So if you like that, that's a good creep ass factor movie.
Suspenseful,
yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And bloody.
It was very bloody. Another movie that really grabbed me was Lady in White.
I haven't seen it. Who's in that?
That's a ghost story. It came out back in the 80s, I'm pretty damn sure. And
that's a book by Wilkie Collins or something like that, isn't it? I can't remember. Hold on, I'll look that up. It's like a really old book. I believe that was like one of Sarah Waters' mentors, or not mentor, but inspirations.
It's really it's one of those films that is able to work a theme of children in distress without being over the top.
Okay.
I'm looking at the summary on IMDb. Sorry.
I am too.
and damn dyslexia. Okay. It says locked in a school closet during Halloween 1962. Young Frank witnesses the ghost of a young girl and the man who murdered her years ago. Shortly afterward, he finds himself stalked by the killer and is soon drawn to an old house where a mysterious lady in white lives. As he discovers the secret of the woman, he soon finds that the killer may be someone close to him.
And that was creepy, you say?
It had creepy moments in it, but it's kind of more of a thriller, but it's very good.
See, I like stuff with ghosts. I like that kind of stuff.
Well, it had ghosts.
That's the stuff I like.
Yep.
Oh, the book I was talking about is The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, which is very, very close, and it was written in 1859. Very close, again, I say.
I'm with you.
Okay.
Another one that kind of creeped me out, only because the guy's voice just gave me the willies to no end, was the movie Candyman.
That movie's creepy.
The very first Candyman.
Candyman.
Yeah, but the actor that they chose, his voice is so deep, it just rattles you to your bones. And they had this creepy music going on when he's like doing his narrating, and you're like freaked out. I had to turn the lights on.
Who was the woman that played in that with it? Was that Virginia Madsen?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was hot back in the day. She's not so hot now, but she was hot back in the day. She looks a little worse for wear, but don't we all? There was also a movie called Ghost, I think, with Fred Astaire, like the old vanguard of Hollywood. Fred Astaire and let me look him up, because I think that's the only way I'm going to find this stupid ass movie. But that was kind of creepy too. That was a ghost story.
Fred Astaire, really?
Yeah. Well, what the hell? Alice Krige was in it. Oh, that's how I find it, because she did what, 2 movies?
Yeah.
She did Silent Hill, and she played the over-the-top evangelist psycho. Mm-hmm. Did you see that movie?
I didn't see it, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I got to tell you, that film was based on a video game, which I'm sure everybody knows that's seen it.
I was just going to say, I haven't seen the movie, but TJ's got a couple of the video games.
Yeah, but there is a scene, or 2 scenes, no, maybe 3, in that film that are so fucking creepy that if you watch it with the lights out, you're guaranteed to have nightmares.
Oh, well, thanks for the heads up.
Just let you know.
Oh, Ghost Ship is not available on Instant View.
Oh, really? That sucks, dirty ass.
There's 4 Wrong Turns. Oh, Wrong Turn, is that... who? Oh, Eliza Dushku.
Yeah, Eliza's in there.
Yeah. No, I didn't see it, but it's not available.
She looked hot, too. Hot.
She is hot.
Ghost Story. Sorry, that's the name of the movie. Came out in 1981.
Isn't it?
What?
I thought that was based on a book, too, or no?
It very well may be. Fred Astaire, Melvin Douglas, Douglas Fairbanks Jr., John Houseman. Great cast. Patricia Neal's even in it.
Oh, wow. That is a great cast.
Great cast. Great movie. Yeah, you should see it. It's got that ghost creepy factor, but nothing is like shock value. It's just like plain old kind of leads up and has creepy moments. So it's pretty good.
I like the creepy moment stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you enjoy Paranormal Activity?
I haven't seen any of them.
We watched the first one, and it was essentially like an hour and a half of nothing, and then 5 or 10 minutes of holy shit, this is scaring the piss out of me, and then
really,
then it was over. Yeah.
Huh. Wow.
Well, isn't that kind of like how it is especially when you're out ghost hunting? 5 hours of nothing, and then 30 seconds of oh my god.
I guess, but it's a movie. I would rather they just cut to the chase.
You're so bad.
I
like it.
Build for you?
Huh?
It didn't build for you correctly?
It was too much. It was just too much build, and then the guy that played the boyfriend, I just wanted to stab him in the eye.
Ow!
I didn't care for him at all. Yeah.
Never mind.
And then his name was Micah, which is my kid's name. Oh, The Fly. That was a good movie.
There wasn't really anything scary about it.
No, the Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis. I like that one.
Well, Gina Davis looked pretty hot in that movie. There was hotness factor for Gina Davis. Aside from that, it was a waste of film. Just saying.
Really, how do you feel about that? Really?
Oh, God.
So what are you guys doing for Halloween? Anything?
We're doing some blast party at work with a potluck, too. We're going to all dress up, and then hopefully we'll have a nice little contest, and we all get to go home early. Yay.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. But once I get home, I'm probably just going to put my feet up and watch AMC's Fear Fest or something.
Do you have kids, trick-or-treaters, coming to your house or anything?
No, the kids around here, they normally either go to the affluent areas, which I don't live in, or they go to malls. So, yeah, no, I won't be seeing any trick-or-treaters.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I put on my scary mask and hand out candy to the little chillins. If they show up without a costume, I make them make up something.
What do you mean? What do you have to do? Do a tap dance on the patio? What?
I ask them, I say, what are you? And they're, well, nothing, I don't have a costume. Okay, well, if you want something from me, you better use your imagination and come up with something right now. And, to be honest with you, I've had some of these kids come up with some ingenious things that make me want to give them candy.
Really?
And I've had several that I've just told to go away.
Damn.
I mean, not the little kids, but when they're 15 years old and they know they don't have any business coming out in the first place, and then they just show up wearing their regular clothes. I'm sorry, but no, you're going to have to do better.
You would think they'd be smart enough at 15 to say something like, "I'm a homicidal maniac. I look like everybody else."
Yeah, that's true. I did have.
That's your line when you're out trick or treating.
Yeah, it is. I'm going to dress up as a redneck again.
That's a stretch.
Just saying. Dressing up as a redneck. I'm thinking.
You should go as a witness.
Ew, no.
I might do that. I think that's what I'll do next year. I'm going to put on some nice clothes and have a stack of watchtowers. And when people ring the door to get candy,
are you going to drop a watchtower in their bag?
I'm going to ask them if they've accepted Jesus Christ as their personal Savior and if I can talk with them for a little while.
Witnesses don't say that.
That's right, they don't. They're very nice.
That's too convincing. People wouldn't get it.
Oh, no.
But I lived in Idaho for a while, and we'd always have the Mormons come.
Oh, good.
What are you talking about? They're everywhere.
I know, but
they're on mission everywhere.
Idaho has the highest population of Mormons in the country.
Really?
Even more than Utah.
Wow.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, they come all the time, and just the watching the looks on the little teenagers' faces when I would tell them, yeah, I'm not interested, and close the door. I was always just so tempted to say, I'm sorry, I'm having a ritual right now. The Dark Master calls. I must go. But they're so sweet. I just, I couldn't do it.
They're awfully squeaky clean looking, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, they got their magic underwear on. That's why.
That's British.
That's exactly it. Have you ever seen them? They're not very attractive.
Well, yeah, but just think of it. Never have skid marks. How fabulous is that?
I heard that when they take the magic underwear off, the underwear has to actually touch some part of your body before you can change into, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take it completely off and then throw it on the floor in a corner. It has to be in contact with you at all times.
I've heard that also.
Because how would you wash that?
Ew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's some really good books about that faith.
There very well may be, but I'm not wasting my time. I don't have much left on this earth, and I'm not going to read about the damn Mormons. I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Just saying.
I don't even know why they bother with me. I open the door and I'm like, I don't even really look like a girl.
Do you have a vibrator in hand or something? Does it scare them off? What?
In the shape of a crucifix.
Like sort of like, hi, and they have their name tags on, elder, whomever. And the last time they came to the door recently, about 2 or 3 months ago, and I said, oh, you guys, you know what? There's just no hope for me. So I do know they're next door, though. That they're so you could try there.
No, that's not right. You need to just make it more of a challenge. They want to save your ass. I'm just saying.
No, they're actually pretty good about just going away. I guess just looking at me like, oh, there's a lesbian-looking woman. Okay, bye.
Planet for you, sweetheart. No planet for you.
No, right? I don't get the veil. I don't get the dang planet. I don't even get the temple. Dang.
Damn it.
No,
No magic underwear for you.
no magic underwear.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, this has been fun.
It has been, yes.
Andi, I'm so glad you joined us.
Well, it's Halloween, y'all. Or some of my friends celebrate Samhain, and some celebrate, I prefer the Day of the Dead. And so it's just a great time of year. I love this time of year. I love the shift in the seasons, and I like the whole concept of the boundary between otherworldly and worldly kind of becoming really transparent. I like that whole idea. So it's a kind of a mystical time for people. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to be out and about, just be careful what you're doing.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Be careful what you ask for. You may get it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Andi, I'm looking forward to reading some of your tales. You had briefly, I think we were on Google Plus chatting.
Yes.
And you had mentioned a story about a spooky balloon. So, I mean, see, you need to write that shit down.
Yeah, but I want a zombie tale first.
What was that? Spooky balloon. When did I post that? Really?
It was just a little conversation we were having.
Oh, yeah. Did you want... Yeah. That's an actual ghost story. That, weird things have happened to me throughout. And maybe I'm just more observant. I don't know. But, yeah, I definitely have had some really strange otherworldly experiences. And that was a heck of a... That was one of those moments where I really... felt like I was about to pee my pants. I was so scared.
You want to tell it? Can you want to tell the tale for our special listeners?
I was living in Denver at the time, and I was dating someone there, and she lived in this really old house, probably about 100 years old at the time, and it had an upper floor with the bedrooms, and then the lower floor, and it was all wooden floors. And she told me, when I first came over to the house, that she said, I think there's other presences here. And being the fact that I've already had some experiences like that with quote-unquote presences, I was like, oh, okay, right on. Are they mean? Because my attitude goes, I'm not spending the night in this house if the ghost hates me. Do you know what I'm saying? That's just not right. She said, no, actually, they're sort of like party ghosts.
Party ghosts?
Party ghosts. I said, well, could you explain? And she said, well, this seems to have been the party central house. Because back in the day, I don't know, maybe when they were all alive, they gathered here, but they dance. They dance at night. And I thought, well, how do you know? And she said, you can hear them. I said, okay, so what's it sound like? She said, don't worry, you'll find out. So at that point, I was really curious, like, oh, okay, maybe she's just stoned or something. One night, I stayed over, and, we had a party, too, actually. And we had these balloons we had filled up with actual helium, so they kind of floated. And so we were hanging out, and we cleaned everything up, and I had kind of gotten used to feeling like I was being watched when I was in the house. And so I just said, well, you guys, you're welcome to, use our party gear here if you want, see ya, good night. So we went up the stairs, and she went to one of the other bedrooms to get something, and I was standing at the top of the stairs. And the stairs led down into the kitchen. It was one of those old houses where the staircases, you went up to the second floor from the kitchen, not from the front room. And it was just a straight staircase down, wooden steps right down to the kitchen. And I was just kind of standing there, and I looked down, and there was a balloon, and it was at the bottom of the staircase, kind of floating about, like how it would float if a little kid was holding it. And it was just floating there above the bottom step, and I thought, okay, I'm about to be really scared. So I kind of watched it, and it came up the stairs, like, It had a ribbon tied to it, like, that you put wrap presents in, little skinny ribbons. We had tied ribbons to our balloons so we could pull them down from the ceiling. And it was, kind of moving, like when you walk, the balloon moves with your motion. And it came halfway up the staircase, and it just kind of floated there. And I was like, say something to the woman in the other room, I was like, And I couldn't get anything out. So I said, I kind of looked at the balloon and I just said, okay, I'm not going to freak out because the ghosts were also kind of practical jokers. So I kind of said, oh, hey, I'm glad you found the balloon. So, you're welcome. Like, use the other ones too. And I kind of backed up. I could still see the balloon, but I backed up from the top of the staircase and the balloon came up the rest of the stairs. And it kind of hovered there at the top step. And I so wanted to run screaming out the window. Like, oh my God. So I just kind of stood there and said, hey, yeah, well, thanks for coming up. And all right, well, see you in the morning. I'm trying not to flip out. I mean, that was the weirdest thing I had yet seen.
They probably could smell your fear, whatever it was.
Yeah, I was probably getting a kick out of it. I assume it was a little kid because there were some kid energy. There was kid energy in the house. And so I just kind of started walking away, like, oh, just mind my own business. Yeah. And I kind of looked over my shoulder, and it went back down the stairs.
Really?
Really.
And you're sure it wasn't a draft or anything? I mean, it...
You know what a balloon looks like.
Yes.
Holding it with the ribbon, right?
Yes.
And then you walk upstairs with it, and you know how it kind of bobs.
Right.
That's what it was doing. It was bobbing.
All right.
And then it stopped and went back down.
Yeah, it went back down.
All right, so did you ever find out any interesting history about the house? I mean, besides it being a party house.
I guess there had been a couple of kids who had died in the house from, I don't know if it was 1918 and the Great Flu Epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
And that night, actually, I told my girlfriend what had happened, and she was like, oh, wow, they haven't really come up here before. And I was like, oh, great, they probably just wanted to scare me because, new kid in the block, whatever.
Yeah, right.
And that night, sure enough, boy, they had a hell of a party downstairs. You could hear the sounds of lots of feet on the wood, and you would hear like step. It was this pattern, and we were lying there in the dark, and I was like, "Damn, you weren't kidding!" And she said, "Listen, they're dancing." And I was like, "Okay." So we lay there for a minute, and I was like, "They were." There was like a step, slide. It was like
you're doing the electric slide.
And then you would hear like people walking, and then like they would all stop for a minute, like the music had stopped, and then it would start up again. It was crazy. It went on for like an hour. It was crazy. That was probably the most haunted house I've ever been in.
How long were you there?
I didn't live there. I was just staying over.
But how long were you there? Was it a weekend, a day? How long were you there? 2
days. That time was a weekend. I spent the weekend that time.
Did you hear it both days you were there?
Yeah. It wasn't as crazy the second night. I guess it was Sunday. I don't know. Maybe they were giving us a break.
Had you ever had
That was nuts, man.
Had they ever? I wonder if they ever brought a medium in there to talk to any of them.
I don't know. I told her, you should look up the history of this place, and she said that she knew from talking to some of the neighbors whose grandparents had owned their houses. Like, it was an old, established neighborhood. Like, people lived in the same houses that their families had. And they said there had been kids there, but that two of the kids had died in the flu epidemic, which would explain why I felt kid energy. But nobody seemed to remember precisely who lived there. It felt sort of like, I expect, given the type of city Denver was back in the day, I expect it was probably immigrants from Europe or maybe the UK. And it wasn't that great a neighborhood, but it was a nice house. And back then it would have been sort of a, upper middle class house. And a lot of times, when you do gatherings and stuff back in the day, back in the early part of the century, that's what people did. They went to each other's houses and they had dances. So it made sense to me, but I tell you what, I'd never, that balloon freaked me out.
Yeah, the balloon would have freaked me out.
Like, woo! We found it in the living room, by the way, the next morning on the couch.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
But you had no balloons in the house before that?
No. Mm-mm. No, we just had a party, and I was just like, "Hey, guys, if you want to use the party stuff, go ahead." I just
so there were
the ghost didn't bring the balloons.
No, we did. They were
they were already there. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was clarifying for Andy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
You know what movies we didn't talk about at all, and I don't really want to get into it a whole lot, but I was just cruising through Netflix because we're going to watch a scary movie after this.
Yay.
Was the Hellraiser movies?
Pinhead, he is kind of sexy ugly. That Pinhead.
Yeah, those movies freaked me out quite a bit when they had first come out.
Movies. I agree, absolutely.
The second one, I think, was creepier for me than the first one.
I actually have one of the boxes. I'm going to take a picture of it. I have one of the boxes.
I'd be interested to see that.
Yes, I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it over. Let me see. I don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
Eventually I will.
Oh, okay.
All right. Woo. Okay.
I was like, that's interesting. Wow. Okay.
So what else did you see on the list with Netflix?
Oh, I don't know. A bunch of damn movies.
Oh,
okay. I've talked about a lot. That gives people a lot of options, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They're into the movie thing, and they want to do that sort of thing. Or I happen to know a few Wiccans, actually, who I know are going to be out celebrating Samhain, doing some kind of rituals there. And I myself have my little altar built for Day of the Dead, so that's my holiday experience.
Wow. See, I just watch, generally on Halloween, I watch, for Christ's sake, what's the name of the Dan Frankenstein film with Gene Wilder? Hello?
Young Frankenstein.
Young Frankenstein. Yeah. I generally watch that on Halloween.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein.
That is the classic.
I love that movie.
That is so good.
Yep, and I love, they picked such a great cast for that film.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was brilliant casting.
Yeah. Blucher.
It's Igor.
That's awesome.
Oh my God! Yes, everybody, you must watch that movie so you can share the inside jokes with us.
Absolutely. Everybody knows that we're big Mel Brooks fans. Andy, check your Gmail account.
Okay.
Okay, right now?
Well, not you, Andy, because I don't have your Gmail address. But Andy, my Andy can forward it to you if you like.
All right.
Sorry, I don't mean to be rude, but...
It's fine. No problem.
Oh, and you title the email, the subject line is My Box? I'm afraid to open the damn mail. What the hell, sister? I'm serious. I'm afraid to open the damn mail.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. She's beautiful.
It's hilarious.
Well, she's not very hairy.
No. No, my box is nice and smooth.
No, not as smooth as mine. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, where'd you get it?
It's actually plastic. It came in a sheet, and I put it together, and it's got the top slides off, so I can put stuff in it. Can you hear it? I'm playing with it right now. I'm playing with my box.
You're playing with your box. Oh, my lordy. It ain't right.
It's a family show.
It is. Yeah, family's right. They'll get the jokes. That's just too awesome. Oh, God.
All right.
Well,
I gotta get going.
Yep, we got to get going too. So thank you very much for being on the show again.
Well, anytime, y'all. I love talking books and movies and just talking smack. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Awesome. Well, we're still hoping. Andy's trying to get in touch with Susan Maher to verify that she will be joining us on the next show. So either she will or she won't.
Well, yeah, she's going to London unexpectedly. And for good reasons, not bad, nothing bad.
Good.
So hopefully that'll happen. If not, we'll reschedule with her, and Andy and I will pick some books if it doesn't happen. And there you go. Yeah. Andy, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, then, and then the show after on the 26th of November, we'll be announcing the winners of the writing challenge.
Oh, yay! That's right.
Yeah, our judges are hard at work. I've gotten several results back, so we're waiting for everybody to get theirs in, and then I will tally up the points, and we'll get the winners posted.
Yay!
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then. Well, you all have a glorious evening. Andi, don't get arrested and
I know, right? I was thinking that.
Yeah, please don't.
Me and this makeup, I don't know. We'll see how well it goes.
All right, we're still hoping for pictures now.
Yeah. We do want pictures.
Yeah. What are you dressed as?
I'm a calavera. I'm one of the skeletons.
Oh, right. Okay, excellent. Yeah, you don't want to mess that up with a drink.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, Andi, you wrap up the show. I don't do this. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable and out of place.
What? Oh, come on. So we had a great time. Thank you, Rev and Andi.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me on. Everybody, happy Halloween or whatever you celebrate.
Yep, whatever you celebrate, do it in style.
Do it in style and be safe.
And be safe, that's right. And until we reconvene, have fun, everybody. Thanks.
Bye.